Hello once again, and welcome back to the Monday Night Spurs show, live every Monday on YouTube at 9 p.m. Thank you for joining me tonight, Gary. We're just chatting off stream that it's good fun when you're talking about a win, but when you're talking about a loss and another derby loss, it's quite a struggle. But how are you, mate? And then how are you feeling after another poor display by Tottenham Hotspur?
Yes, well, first of all, I'm good. I'm surviving. But yeah, after hi Jim. After yesterday's game, yeah, just deflating, absolutely deflating once again. It's another London derby that we've lost. It's 4 already this season.
Yeah.
I can't think. Is there any more London teams who've got to play in the Premier League? Well, not Watford. They come under Hertfordshire, I think, but they're close enough.
We'll still lose to them. But yeah, I think there is one more. Is there one more? Brentford?
Oh, Brentford, yeah. Oh, God, yeah, Brentford.
So it's going to be a long old season. But yeah, so let's start with the game. I mean, I think the first thing to talk about is Nuno, 2 separate teams. So he's gone for a first team and like a reserve side, and they've both let him down. How did you feel about Nuno picking 2 separate sides and resting the boys for Sunday? You think it was the right decision?
Well, I think so. I think looking at the team he picked for Thursday against Vitesse, I think it was still capable of getting something from that game. I think with Nuno, he's picking players who are just letting the side down once again for that game against Vitesse. But I think the team yesterday picked itself. I think he's done well the last couple of matches against Villa and Newcastle. So going in against West Ham, we was expecting them to be fresh, fit, prepared, fully rested. They looked the complete opposite. They looked like they played on Thursday night, and they looked knackered. They looked like they didn't have a game plan.
Yeah, the most frustrating thing for me was that you could tell West Ham were knackered as well. You know, they got in front and they knew they just had to sit back, stay compact. And we knew, I think it's even Spurs fans, we knew we weren't scoring. I mean, like we didn't even come close to knocking on the door to score. But you could tell, I think West Ham have 5 players who's played on Thursday night and Sunday. And you could just tell they were knackered, and we still didn't go for it. The subs were late, I think, from the 83rd minute. Was it the first sub? It was just stupid.
Yeah, it was late.
Jim's gone early. He says Nuno out. So 2 minutes into the stream, and we've already got Nuno out chance comments coming in. So I've got a touch map to show you, and this touch map is from the second half of West Ham v Spurs, and the blue dots are Tottenham's touches in the second half, and this will just show you and give you a better idea of how close we come to scoring. So the blue dots are Tottenham's touches in the second half, and we got nowhere near the West Ham goal. Nowhere near. I mean, no long range shots, just no frustration. No one shouting at each other. It was just literally pass to Skip, pass to Højbjerg, pass to Emerson, and just hoof it long. And it's just criminal. For me, there seems to be no game plan. I don't know. I generally have no idea what the game plan is. I'm not sure if we're trying to counter-attack. Gary, any idea what you think Nuno's game plan is?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, if you told me, if you was watching this with you, well, if you was just listening with your ears, like, you know, take away like what's happened in the past 12 months or so, because this time last year we had Mourinho in charge. You turn the clock back forwards 12 months, and let's just say you don't know who the manager is. You'd think a manager. You'd think, because this is how Mourinho used to play, so defensive, no offensive football whatsoever, and this is more or less the same. You know, that's what I saw. It looked like Mourinho was in charge of yesterday's game, so defensive, hoofing it forward, getting it to the main men up top, but they were disappointing yesterday. They were the front three was really disappointing, and Kane for me ineffective. Son was disappointing, which is sad really, because he is probably one of the better players at the club. And Lucas Moura, I know he tries. He does try his best. He always does try his best for the club. But again, yesterday just ineffective.
Yeah, no, you're spot on there. And I think I think it's fair to say we know Heung-min Son does care. He wants to give his young, but it's just nothing happening. I think a lot of it is down to training. I've tweeted it a few times. We've got good players in the team. We've got Son and Harry Kane. They've not gone to shit. They are very good players. And Skip, I think Skip's really good. Højbjerg, I think it's all right. And Romero, I think Romero looks a good signing, but it's just the management of these players is ruining them. It literally really is ruining them. I'm worried for January because I feel like Harry Kane's going to push for a move again. And even next summer, I think Lloris, his contract expires. So he'll be out of contract. And I don't blame him at all for not renewing. Like, I'd get out of it now. So for me, everything that's happening, it does not feel like a rebuild still. I don't know what it is. I thought we were trying to stop the decline, but that's not even happened, is it? We are still declining as a club.
Yeah, I think that as well. I just think we haven't since the Champions League final. That's when everything went downhill. We had obviously the season after that. We had Champions League. Then after that, Pochettino during that time got sacked, and then Mourinho comes in, but we still dropped to Europa League, and then after that we're in Europa Conference League. So we are slowly declining.
Yeah, and this is the problem. I said to my dad earlier, we're third place in that Conference League. We're not. We might not even get out of the group right now. That's how bad it is. And the mentality of the club or the players, they think they're too good for that Conference League. And although you're playing your second team, your B teams, we don't look like at the moment we're getting through unless we actually win the home games. But you know what I mean. And that Vitesse, they lost at home yesterday to a newly promoted side. So it makes you wonder, if we was in like League One, would we actually get out of League One? Like the mentality of the club feels so wrong right now. I want to analyze the game, West Ham v Spurs, but for me, I don't think West Ham played well. Like, I don't think they had a good game. I just feel like they had the one chance, and I think that was it. Spurs just accepted it. They almost took the 1-0 loss. What did you think? What did you think of West Ham's performance?
Well, I mean, it's just typical West Ham in a West Ham Spurs derby match. You know, they always seem to go for it, but yeah, I think they wanted it more than us. That's the attitude they were giving off, and we just went there for like a stroll. Like, we just didn't try hard enough, especially that second half. Really dismal second half. The first half wasn't terrible. I mean, we grew into the first half a bit. You know, it sort of replicated our Villa and Newcastle was. We had a slow start, but then eventually we grew into the game. I think we probably had one or two chances, maybe one half chance to score. I know Kane had that header and it was a good save from Fabianski, but apart from that, you know, there weren't really many more chances after that. It just went a bit flat. But I think overall, I think we was happy just to play it for a 0-0 draw. That's what it looked like. But West Ham, I think they wanted it a little bit more, so that's why they were pushing forwards. And then they got their reward, got their goal, and got the 3 points.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know where to start with the problems at the club, because you can't even, hypothetically, you can't really drop Kane because we haven't really got a striker to bring on. Like, you got Scarlett, and I said how we're playing in the Conference League with Scarlett up front, and you can tell he's not ready. But we've already made this mistake when we had Troy Parrott and we were playing him in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So it's not fair on these kids we're literally begging these kids to get us through. And it feels like Enoch and Levy and whoever the manager is, they're just hoping one of these academy kids becomes the next Harry Kane. And it's just unfair pressure on them. And then they're going to get a bit of stick, but they don't deserve it. I mean, Harry Kane, when he was coming through, he had Ericsson, he had Chadley, he had Lamella when his first season, who was in a bit of form, and he had Adebayor and Soldado. So Harry Kane had a lot of support around him. But Dane Scarlett's come in. Well, he's got nothing to work with. You know, he got the work rate of Ndombele, and he got nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I said this about a week or so ago. I think Scarlett should have maybe gone out on loan or at least stayed with the under-23s, and should have kept Troy Parrott. I think with Parrott as well, he's got a couple of caps to his name for the Republic of Ireland as well. So he's already
and goals. He scored,
and goals. He's got some. goals. I mean, they might only be against Andorra, but they're goals. Goals for your country. And but yeah, I think he's doing quite well at MK Dons. But I think maybe we should have kept him and kept him as the backup striker.
Yeah.
But what I mean, we'll get on to Vitesse in a minute, Tel. But I mean, it was nice to see at last Dylan Markande come off the bench. He looks lively, and they said for the under-23s, they said I think he's got something like it's something ridiculous, like 7 goals in 8 matches or something like that, and he's been playing as a striker.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for Makande, but again, he needs to supply it, doesn't he? I think it works in the under-23s for him because of players like Alfie Devine, people that give him the ball. So it makes you wonder, why aren't we bringing these creative players like into our first team? Because the midfield feels so stale right now. Roy has said, I feel on the one hand Nuno is keeping the seat warm for Poch, but why would he come back to this mess? I mean, when you look at these Champions League nights and Pochettino's bench, you just can't see it right now, can you? Him coming back anytime soon. It's going to have to be drastic to happen at PSG or a massive fallout. But yeah, what do you reckon? With Poch coming back, if he did come back,
I might be very few. I don't know if I'd have Poch back yet. I think Poch done what he could. I think the thing is, Poch knows if he came back, he won't get backed. But I think because he's got so much love and passion for the club, he probably would come back. But I think deep down, look, he gets back to PSG. I mean, he's got Messi in his team, for God's sakes. That's like a dream signing for any manager.
Yeah.
And but Pochettino's working with him. Can you imagine like players like Messi and them coming over to Spurs, but well, not even Messi, but I mean the other players they've got players like Draxler, is it Paredes? They've got Di Maria, Mbappe, even their defence, Kimpembe, Keylor Navas, Donnarumma in goal. They've got.
I've not even seen Sergio Ramos yet. You got Ramos in the reserves, haven't you? I've not seen that. It's normally Marquinhos and Kimpembe. Jim says West Ham got 11 behind the ball after he scored, which is something Tottenham do, but we're not very good at it, But we used to do that under Mourinho, didn't we? I think that the first time it failed was it the Newcastle game with the Dyer handball last year? I think we should have put the game to bed, shouldn't we? And we should
have done. Yeah, it was absolutely all over him that game. But yeah, I feel like that's happened too often. Set pieces once again. And yeah, it's just happening too often. And yeah, I feel like we fail at times trying to defend, but I feel we defend for too long. And then the other team, they get the goal, they get an equaliser or get a win, and it just backfires on us big time.
One thing that concerns me a lot is when you have a bad result, they normally put it right and come back, show a bit of passion, and get the result. But it don't seem to be happening. And I mean, 4 London derby defeats is unheard of. I mean, we've only played 9 games this season.
Yeah,
we lost 4 London derbies. It's just you wonder, do they care? But the results clearly say they don't care, and it's not like these results are fluky. West Ham, West Ham, Palace, Chelsea, Arsenal, they've all deserved them. Arsenal will turn up. Chelsea was turned up for the first half. But yeah, the West Ham, we didn't have a shot. Arsenal second half, I don't remember nothing. I mean,
we scored the goal.
Yeah, scored the goal, but yeah, I don't remember anything happening. What do you make of the 2 teams then? So he put his first team out and he played the second team. Do you feel like he's going to ditch it now and actually, put a hybrid together? Maybe, I don't know, go back to Lo Celso instead of Ndombele, then maybe Tanganga for Emerson. Do you think he's going to change it up?
Probably not too much. I think the thing is that team yesterday, I mean, on paper didn't look bad. I mean, I was quite happy with the defence yesterday. I think the 2 players who were really poor yesterday, Reguilon and Emerson Royale. I think Reguilon wasn't that great. I mean, some of the long balls he was getting though was dire, so he was never going to get them. But I think defensively he was a bit poor. I mean, he gave away that cheap possession. West Ham got that corner, and that's how they scored because of that. Because he just didn't clear his lines. I think Emerson Royale found yesterday fairly tough as well. Didn't play too bad. I think he was better than Reguilon, but he weren't that much better. I think so, but I think the defence is quite. I think Romero Dyer is forming a good partnership there, but I think we need to get. I think Romero needs to bring the better out of other defenders now. I think someone like Rodon and Sanchez and even Tanganga. You know, if you can get the better out of them, we'd have decent centre backs. But I think Ndombele, yeah, another one of those iffy games he had yesterday. I mean, he played so well against Newcastle last week, and yesterday it's not the same player.
Well, it's like that's the thing with Ndombele. He has one good game, then he thinks he's due a transfer to Real Madrid. You know, so you can't put it back to back. Roy says it was almost like West Ham were expecting us to attack after going 1 down. It's true. That's exactly what I thought. You know, West Ham were expecting us to throw bodies forward, but the problem I saw, Reguilon and Emerson, like they had poor games. They were picking up the ball. They got their head up, but no one was in the box. No. It was just Harry Kane in the box, and then I don't even remember an attempted cross into the box. You know, I generally don't remember any crosses going in. Nothing. I just absolutely nothingness. Ollie's left a comment in the chat. Ollie was at the game. One of the worst games I've been to live. We look horrendous. No creativity. But yeah, no creativity, and I don't know what to say really. I mean, should we go on to Vitesse? Talk about the Vitesse game. I mean, it's pretty much the same story with Vitesse.
Yeah.
So Vitesse won, Tottenham Hotspur 0, exact same score. Again, we put an 11 out, but it was an 11 that looked like they never played together before. And there was some experience in the side with Ben Davis. I can't even remember the team now. Bergwijn come back from injury, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you make of the team and performance? I mean, Dele Alli again, seeing nothing from it.
Yeah, well, again, like I said earlier, I think that starting 11 for me was still capable of getting something from that game. You know, even a draw would have been a fair result for that team. But again, it's the players letting the team down. You got, like you just said now, Dele letting the team down again, Winks letting the team down again. I think, and Lo Celso as well. I think Lo Celso would much prefer playing in a team with Kane, Son, Lucas, Ndombele, Højbjerg, and Romero, and then sort of players. You know, I don't think he'd appreciate being in a team with Winks and Dele who don't create nothing.
Yeah.
You know, don't create. Then you've got inexperienced Dane Scarlett up top as well, who's not an out-and-out striker, like an out-and-out goal scorer, senior level yet. I mean, he does it for the youth. Obviously, they've got high hopes for this kid. But I hope he does well as well. But, I mean, the defence on the day, I don't think it was terrible either. I think Rodon, Sanchez, but I think Rodon was a bit shaky. Sanchez looked a bit more calm and collected. But yeah, I think just seeing all these Deadwood players, Davis just offers nothing special anymore. Same with Dele, same with Winks. I think Brian Gill again. I think the lack of experience as well caught up with him there. Again, not creating nothing, and another frustrating match to watch.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with like Brian Hill and Lo Celso. They're trying to create something, 1-2s, get some attacking plays going. But when you pass it to Winks and Dele, just slows the play down, and they've got and their confidence is shot. Winks and Dele, they've got no intent of going forward or risking a killer pass. It's bizarre. They rather get a 90% pass accuracy than try and get us in the game. Right? Like they could just pass the ball all game if they could. I mean, like for me, I've sold my ticket for Man United at the weekend because I'm not expecting a game of football. Like, I don't expect anything from the game. I feel like Tottenham will hopefully keep the ball, kick it about, and hope for a 0-0 because I just don't see any passage of play. Roy says Lo Celso doesn't create anything either. Safe pass and that's it. With Lo Celso though, we are talking about the Vitesse game. They played him deeper again when against Mora. He played in the number 10 role and he looks a lot more promising. But do you feel like Lo Celso deserves more of a chance in the number 10 with Kane
10.
and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I'd say as a number 10, yeah, I think playing him deep just doesn't suit him. I think you can tell he's more of an attacking player. He does well for Argentina going forward. You know, he's a regular for Argentina and he plays in the same team as Messi.
Yeah.
And then he comes back, plays in the same team with Kane and Harry Winks. So, but yeah, like I said, I think Lo Celso would be better in a team with Kane and Son and Skip and Højbjerg and them. But yeah, I think throwing him in, I reckon start Lo Celso against that'd be a real test for him. Start him against Man United next weekend. So that'd be a real test for him, and see if he's the player that he proves to be.
I mean, but yeah, so the defeats of Vitesse leaves us third in the group.
Yeah.
Was it Rennes at home? Vitesse at home is the next game, and then
at home,
and then
Murat away.
Yeah, I think is it Murat away is the last game of the group.
No, I think it's at home.
What Rennes?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's how it works. I'm not sure, but yeah, we've got 2 home games left in that group, which I think we can win. Got a home advantage, and Murat away. They shouldn't be a threat. My God, if we lose, I mean anything can happen at the minute. But my God, if we lose that, I mean Nuno would have to go definitely.
Well, before we come on to previewing Burnley, then let's talk about Nuno. Where do you currently stand with him? Like,
for me, I'd still give him the time. I still think he's got a bit to offer, but he hasn't really. But for me, I feel like he could be on his last legs. But depending on how the results go, I think if we lose to Burnley, I mean, lose to United, I mean, my God, United was shit yesterday. They were poor. And if we can't break down a team like Man United the way they are at the minute, I mean, there's question marks about Solskjaer's future. We can't take advantage of that and they end up battering us like 3 or 4-0. Then, I don't know, probably have to be the end of Nuno because I think, like you say, it's just his management skills. I think the way he's using players at the minute, probably not playing them in the right position, using the wrong tactics as well. It's just not the Tottenham way. It's just too defensive, too negative. Need to be more attacking and just play with a bit more bravery in that. But as it stands, I'd give him the time. I hope he does turn it around. I think he's got the ability to turn it around. But if we're not, say, in the top 6, top 7, at least the top 7 by Christmas, then I reckon he'd be gone.
I think that's the thing for me. You hit the nail on the head there about playing players in position. I mean, I really don't understand. Mourinho done it and Nuno does it. I don't understand why everyone's trying to play Lucas Moura as like the cam, like behind the strikers. We're not creating anything. There's no width there, so I feel like we need to go back to playing Lucas as a right winger. It's how it worked against the first 3 games, of the season when we played Bergwijn, Son, and Lucas. Lucas looked so much better out wide.
Yeah,
and I feel like because Lucas isn't playing out wide, it really does affect Emerson at right back because there's no overlapping runs. Emerson don't know whether to bomb up the right hand side or go halfway. I just feel like Emerson doesn't know what his job is because he's got the whole touchline to himself. So I'd love to see Lucas back on the right in like a 4-2-3-1. But
as silly as this might sound, communication, just speak the same language.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean,
that's one thing that's frustrating me with Spurs is that no one seems to be having a go at each other on the pitch. And you look, the camera goes to Nuno, and he's just got his arms crossed every time. Like Sky, I put the camera on him, he's got his arms crossed. I don't tell no one what to do. And I think looking back at it now, I feel like the Newcastle game we got away with because of the accident that happened. I think it must have disrupted Newcastle's rhythm a little bit. But it just seems like an off game now, like a hard game to judge. But like we said, I don't see no style of play right now. I really don't see where this is going to go on. And for me, I feel like I don't know. I'm fully Nuno out now, but I don't know where the balls are because, like we were promised some attacking football, we was promised an
Yeah.
attacking manager, but it's not happening. So I'm not sure. I want to know what Levy's thinking. You know, I want to know what the board are thinking. Like, this was their choice, and what Nuno, what Levy thinks about Paratici, because this was Paratici's appointment as well.
Yeah, I think with Levy and that Paratici, like you said, it's his appointment. But yeah, I mean, some of the signings as well were under Paratici as well. But I think Levy, I think he just needs to say to Nuno and Paratici what the budget is. I think that's the problem. I think he needs to know what budget it is and go out and spend on the players. But I think with Levy in charge, we'll never get anywhere. You'd think Levy was the manager. You probably think Levy picks the team, picks the squad, and all that. I think Nuno's probably dictated to all that. But I said that about any manager. Any manager who comes in under Enoch, it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. You know, I think Mourinho found it hard. Pochettino found it hard, of course. But yeah, I think any manager that comes in, they probably won't fancy us. I think it's just going to be a tough. Not going to have the freedom to make changes and that, and feel like they're not going to be left in charge. What's the point of calling them a manager if they can't make decisions?
Yeah, no, that's a good point regarding you feel like Levy's the manager, because I've heard a few people say this. Why is it so many people are so persistent playing Dele Alli? Like, it's very, very clear Dele's done. It's done. And same with Harry Winks, done. And they get these opportunities, and you play them, and you get knocked out the cup, or you lose a big game, you lose to Vitesse. And if a new manager comes in, you're going to be sure they're going to give Dele Alli another chance. Winks is going to get another chance. They're all going to get another chance to prove themselves, and that they must be getting another chance from the board. They must be saying, "Oh, we've got a £50 million player in Dele. You got to play him, get him into some form."
Yeah. I also think as well that some of these players, I think they're probably seeing the problems that we're seeing. Maybe the board are the problem.
Yeah.
And we can see that from a mile off. You don't even have to be at the training ground or be at the stadium to even know where the problems lie. The players themselves are probably seeing the problems. They probably see it, but the problem with them, they have to keep their mouth shut.
That's the thing. I think let's talk about Harry Kane for a minute. I reckon a lot of the squad do know what the situation was, the gentleman's agreement and all that. A lot of the squad probably do know what was promised to Harry Kane, and it's probably has caused a bit of harmony. Disgruntlement in the squad, because Harry was obviously had a promise and he was ready to leave. And I think even the squad thought, well, Harry's going, we're going to get some new players coming in, and it's not happened, so the squad's gone stale again, and Harry's not been able to perform. But what's your stance on Harry Kane then? Didn't put a shift in again yesterday, but can you blame him right now? I mean, what's your overall opinion and analysis on Harry?
I said before at the start of the season, I said if you don't want to be there, then there's no point you staying. If you want to leave, if your heart's set elsewhere, then go. Simple as that. I mean, don't just hold out for silly money for him. Levy's probably holding out for something like 150 million. What do we have? Rumoured offers to have like 100, 110, 120. I would have happily taken 100 million for a one-away player, And for someone who has that slow start of a season, I mean, he's only got one league goal in 9 appearances so far. I mean, he's probably played 7. I mean, he missed the first game, but I think with Kane, if he say he comes up to the halfway point of the season and he's only got a handful of goals, I think that's just a sign to say that he don't want to be there. Because Harry Kane, who's happy and wants to stay, he'd be on Mo Salah's record right now. Mo Salah's got 10 goals in 9 league appearances.
How many have Tottenham got?
Tottenham have got 9.
Exactly. That sums it up. But
does.
Yeah. Jim says Levy overspent on the stadium. He's never overspent on the player. Well, I disagree there. I think he's overspent a lot of players: Soldado, Janssen, and Dombele, Lo Celso, Jack Clark, Ryan
Yeah.
Sessegnon. He's definitely overspent on a lot of players, but yeah, he's not overspent on the right players. You Bruno Fernandes, you Jack Grealish,
Yeah.
you know, Harlovic. These
Well,
players.
then again, you say that Bruno Fernandes has been rubbish lately.
Yeah, so
He's been really poor. Yeah, he has. I mean, I know people have said, we could have had Bruno Fernandes and all that. I mean, yeah, he was good in his first season. He was good for the first few years, but recently, under this ruck that Man United are in right now, he just hasn't been performing. He's been really poor. He hasn't scored goals, he hasn't got assists, nothing. I mean, he scored hat-trick on the opening day of the season, but he hasn't done nothing since.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things where Ronaldo's took his limelight, took his
Yeah.
penalty. And I think clearly he wants to be the best player at the club, Bruno, and it's really affected him. Jim says Harry plays like he doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
Chris says Kane isn't chasing as hard as he was. We don't have that passion. We need the passion from the Ajax game every game. And when in front, we know 3-0 isn't enough. We need to keep attacking. Agreed. He's never overspent on quality. Let's talk about my opinion on Harry Kane. So for me, like, initially I was fuming. I was like, actually no, that's a lie. Initially I was like, I understand Harry Kane's situation. I felt sorry for him because he has given his all for the club. And to be honest, this is the first time where we can say we aren't progressing as a club. And, Harry was always honest with fans. He said he would stay at Spurs if we are progressing. And we've gone Champions League, Europa League to Conference League. And so, yeah, we're declining. And Harry produced unbelievable numbers last season, Golden Boot and top playmaker last season. So he gave his all, and we still finished 6th or 7th last year. I think it was 7th.
Yeah.
The bit, I'm not sure what the official bids were from Man City. It looked like it was 75 mil plus add-ons. Of course, that's not enough for Harry Kane. But for me, as a fan right now, I'm disheartened. I feel really hurt by the club. Like, I really don't see enough evidence from the club to show that they care. And I feel that's how Harry Kane feels. Like, Harry Kane is one of our own. He loved nothing more than to win trophies with Spurs. And we all know we aren't winning trophies with. If we're going to win a trophy, it'll be 5-10 years later once Harry Kane's gone and once Son's gone. Like, once the proper rebuild's started and all these players are gone. But within the next 2 to 3 years, I don't see us winning trophies. I think that's why I have my sympathy for Harry Kane. Like, I feel like he's stuck here. He's under contract. Of course, he's getting paid ridiculous money, but he wants to win trophies with Spurs. That's a fact. But he's just able to do that.
I reckon another thing. I reckon he's received broken promises from Levy as well. So there might have been a case of, I want to leave. Club want to match. Like, I want the club to match my ambition, but it's not doing it so far. Maybe Levy's turned around and said, "All right, what we'll do? We'll because we did try getting Lautaro Martinez from Inter Milan.
Yeah.
I think the personal terms weren't agreed. I don't think he wanted to leave Inter, but we was willing to pay what they wanted, double his wages and things like that. So I think there was things about that. But and then obviously Adam Traore was another one, and one or two other players. I think Kane was probably sent to Levy, show some ambition. Otherwise, I'll be gone. Transfer window shut, and he's probably looking at it saying it's not ambitious enough. So probably that's why the effort's not coming in anymore.
No, bang on, mate. That's exactly it. I feel like this was Harry Kane's real push, not necessarily to move, but he's a real push for the club to show ambition, and this is what they've shown for it. I mean, Emerson, the right back, Romero, centre back, good signing, Romero.
Yeah.
But to not replace Bale and Vinicius, and we've got Brian Gilwin for Lamella, but to not get another striker and another attacker, Kane's going to be running to the ground. I feel like another thing with Harry Kane was the Euros. He's gone to the Euros playing with Foden and Jack Grealish and Sterling and even like Jude Bellingham, playing with these proper quality players, and he'd love to be winning things. That he's come to the England camp, and all the Chelsea boys have got their Champions League medals, the City boys have got their Premier League medals, and there probably is a bit of banter going about with Harry Kane, and he's got nothing to show for it. He's got nothing to show for it. The closest he came was the Carabao Cup, and Mourinho got sacked. And we all know Harry Kane had a strong relationship with Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
and you can tell now, like that, it all feels broken.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think saying about that, I reckon Harry was the sort of player that used to watch Mourinho growing up. We did. We used to watch Mourinho growing up as a manager, and yeah, he was top manager. We always used to say, "Oh, I want Mourinho as our manager. He's the best in the world." Like, this is at the time. I mean, now for me, he's finished, but but for now, I mean, talking about Mourinho, his Roma side lost 6-1 the other day.
Yeah, you can. I've not even watched the Roma games, but I've seen the headlines and I've seen a few quotes, and you know where it's going now. Like the Mourinho train starting with all the trouble.
Yeah. I knew it would work out there at Roma.
I saw 6 players in the dugout in the stands. Did you read that? 6 players from the Conference League defeat. He brought them to the match day, but he put them in the stands. He didn't want them sitting in the dugout. So he's humiliating players.
Wow.
So Jim's gone Enoch out and Nuno out. So Jim's not happy like us. Roy says Martinez, Dybala, Sabitzer, it's all lies to sell season tickets. We end up with leftovers, cheap ones at that. I mean, the day I bought my season ticket, it's my first season. I haven't been a season ticket holder. The day I bought it was when we were meant to be getting Conte. So that was the other big, marketing stunt from Spurs. Advertising Conte. Big things are happening at the club. And then, all went downhill from there. Chris says, we got to a Champions League final and Kane must have expected us to push on for more, as we all did. Enoch are doing a great job as a business, but unfortunately the fans don't get rewards. Exactly. I mean, Gary, did you think we'll push on after the Champions League final? I really hate talking about the Champions League final. I hate talking about Poch because it's gone now. I mean, we're gonna talk about it every season, but it's a good 2 years ago now. But yeah, what do you think? Did you expect us to push on?
Yeah, I did. I think, I fully did. I mean, look, I did expect us to get to another Champions League final the year after, but I didn't expect us to go on bigger and better things. I thought to myself, Champions League final, just making the final is a massive statement. Obviously, winning it's another level, but to make the final, I mean, some teams in their history have only ever made the Champions League final once. There's many teams out there have only ever made it once, but yeah, I thought after that. I thought, wow, it's something we've never experienced. A Champions as fans, a Champions League final. Never in our lifetime. It was just great to experience that. But yeah, I thought genuinely after that. I mean, we had the signing of Ndombele, and then we thought, big money signings were coming in because you got to think when he came in, he was the first signing since the 18 months or whenever it was when we didn't sign any players.
Yeah.
He was like the first one, and we thought, yeah, okay, maybe this is going good, but it just went to shit basically. It's gone downhill ever since, and it's still continuing to go.
That's the main concern with me is that we're still falling. We're still falling. Like, I'll be amazed if we finish 7th this season. Absolutely amazed, So it feels like we're heavily declining, and yeah, we'll come on to Burnley very shortly. Jim says we should have pushed on investment in a quality stadium, but not quality players. But yeah, I mean, we had the pandemic, but, I mean, was it Edward 15 million to Crystal Palace? Patson to Leicester, 23 million.
Yeah.
Danny Ings, 25 million, was it?
Even Chan, the Huang, what's his name? Chan Huang on loan.
Yeah, brilliant little player. I mean, one player we probably think is not good enough for us, but Josh King got a hat trick, the other day. He's probably not good enough for Tottenham, but as a backup.
Who's he play for now?
Watford.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was at Everton, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then you got a hat trick on his day.
Wow, crazy.
All right. Chris says, "Is it a much bigger plan than we all think and need? Great training ground, the structures all there. Time will tell." But yeah, time will certainly tell. No one knows, though. That is the biggest problem. No one knows what the plan is. And now that's where the frustration lies with the squad, with the fans. I mean, even the media. No one knows what the actual plan is. Levy's got Paratici doing all the talking for him. And it wouldn't surprise me if Paratici went end of the season and something else happens. I'm not sure what's happening. Roy says Josh King is 33. I know he's 33. Time's
Wow.
gone by quick then.
He has been around for a long time. I remember he was a reserve player at Man United.
Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, and cool. Blimey, he's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Right, let's talk about Burnley then.
Yeah.
Back in the Carabao Cup, of course, we finished in the cup final last season, losing to 1-0 Man City, thanks to Sissoko not marking Laporte on the corner. What's your thoughts on the competition then? I think I ask you this every round we get through. Are you hoping to go far in a competition? Is it more important than the Conference League?
I'd say, yeah. Do you know what? I'd say so because I think with the Carabao Cup, it's more of a recognised trophy in this country. I think the Conference League has only just come around this season, so but the Carabao Cup's been around for many years, so I'd like to go for it. I would like to. I'm disappointed that we didn't win it last year, but or last season, but yeah, I'd like us to go far in this competition. It's a trophy at the end of the day. You got to go for it. For this one, probably. I don't think Nuno is going to fully rotate this one and keep the squad fresh for Man United. I think he will play half and half. I think some rotated players have come in and some first teamers as well.
So give me your the 11 you want, not what Nuno pick, but tell me what 11 you'd want.
What I would want. Well, he's probably going to go for Galini. I'd go for Galini anyway. He got us. He won us the game for the penalty shootout. The other one against Wolves. Who would I like to see? I'd like to see quite a strong back. I'll probably start Romero again.
Mm-hmm.
Romero, maybe Romero and Dyer. Maybe just play it safe.
Mm-hmm.
Play it safe. I think rest Royale, bring in Tanganga. I wouldn't start Ben Davies. I'd keep Reguilon there. I'd probably go for a fairly strong side. I'd probably drop Ndombele, play Lo Celso. I would, you know what? I would bench Kane for this one. I'd bench Kane and make Son the main striker.
I think that's one thing we need to do now. We need to at least go back to try and the three forwards up front we had in our first three games with Bergwijn, Lucas, and Son, because I feel like that suited Nuno better. The formation don't suit us, the 4-3-3, but but to at least with them three, we have a counter-attacking style of football. Where with this, it's nothing, is it? Because the players don't move up the pitch together. So a good opportunity to see Son up front again.
Yeah.
You were not tempted to start. Of course, it won't happen. You're not tempted to see Makande start.
No, but I would like to see him come off the bench. I would like to see him on the bench and come off the bench. I hope he does get some minutes on Wednesday. Deserves it. I mean, he looks good in the under-23s, like we said. So, but I think they're allowed to make more subs in this competition now.
What, Carabao?
Yeah, I think they said something about they're allowed to because they originally got 7 subs, is it? Or I think they're putting it up to 9.
Yeah,
or they're picking more subs or 5 subs, is it? I can't remember.
We've got a few more comments coming in. I'm 50, lads. Been going since 97. It's a tough job being a yid.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, so what? Gary, you're 29 as well, yeah?
Yeah, I'm 29. Yeah,
we're both 29, so we've only seen Carabao Cups or League Cups, Carling Cups. That's all we've seen, unfortunately. Jim says, I'd like to win Carabao, but I think we'll lose against Burnley. Let's be real, we'd love to win Red Bridge Swimming Cup. We need to win something.
I feel we've shared the Justin Edinburgh Trophy already this year.
She shared it, yeah. We shared it. Yeah, I feel your pain, Chris. I'm 56. On Sundays, Nuno v Oli, El Sacchio.
Yeah.
Chris agrees with that team. Ollie's gone for a slightly different team. He's gone Loris in goal, Tanganga right back, Rodon, Romero centre backs, Davis left back. He's gone Winks. He's starting every Winks. Oh my God, Winks and Donvell and Lo Celso.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Bergwijn. Well, I think that midfield would get dominated by Burnley, even if it is Jack Clark, Dale Stevens. I'm not sure who it'll be, but
no, not Jack Clark. It's Jack Cook.
Jack Cook. But yeah, I would not feel confident with that team at all.
There's a lad there called Brownhill.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Brownhill. But yeah, I really haven't got a clue how Burnley are going to line up. I mean, maybe Dwight McNeil will start. I've not watched Burnley. I don't think they've won a game this season though, if I'm correct.
They were close. I think they nearly beat Leicester, but they got a 2-2 draw there.
Yeah, I think that's the. Yeah, I think so. That'll be very Spursy when they get their first win of the season. Mind you, they must have got through in the cup. Chris said Royce a bit of a blast ups and downs. For us, that's why the pubs are open for us to numb the pain or celebrate. But yeah, Ollie says, what do you make of Jack Clark?
I've not seen him. Not really seen him. I mean, paid big money for him. I mean, £10 million for an 18-year-old at the time. And, that's quite a lot of money. I mean, we've got 18-year-olds in our academy. And they must be thinking, like, well, what have we got to do to sort of, pay £10 million for him? So what have we got to do in order to either get to the first team or we get a £10 million move? But I would like to see him play more often. I'd like to see what he can do. I think he's just barely had any minutes. I just want to see what he can do. You never know. He might make a surprise appearance in the Cup or even the Europa League. But I'll tell you what, if they've got no place for him, why don't they play him as a striker?
I think when we played Marine, I think even the Marine game he was on the bench. So they didn't even play him against Marine last season. So
I don't know.
I feels like that must be a Levy signing. Like I don't who was manager? Was it Poch? Yeah, it's just another bizarre signing. Like no idea what the plan is, unless it was just
20 years old, 21 years old. So let's see. I mean, look, he's given him a few years. I hope he's just going to be like another Anthony Giorgio. You remember him? He just used to play pre-seasons.
Jim says Leeds fans feel like they mugged us off when we signed Clark. Well, yeah, I mean, did they do that Jack Clark money? Didn't they get Rafinha? I mean, like
probably.
Rafinha, 22 million. Yeah. Was he from Rennes? Was he from Rennes? I feel like he might be from Rennes. I mean, I think they do produce some good players. Rennes. They also produced Ousmane Dembele, so they have got a good wingers.
Yeah, I know. Edouard Mendy come there, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it is a tough group, but we should still be getting out of that group.
Yeah,
good. We need to try and wrap Burnley up. We've got a few more comments to go through. We'll wrap Burnley up now, and we'll talk about United. So, what is your prediction then, Burnley on Wednesday night?
Oh, I don't know. Depends how they're going to play.
Go on.
I don't know. We're probably gonna we'll probably go through on penalties again.
What, 0-0? No,
it'll probably be a 1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we're going for? Him and Son to score?
Yeah, we'll go for Son to score, and I think someone like who'll score for them, Chris Wood.
Yeah, I mean they've got enough options.
No, or even no, it'd be a set piece. It'd be James Tarkowski.
Yeah, yeah, probably will be a set piece if we do concede.
Right, up to the 50th minute mark, and my phone cuts out at this point.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'll learn to.
And I got the link on standby anyway. So,
Chris says, Jack Clark, my wife's a Leeds fan. He was very promising, but we bought him with an injury. Yeah, I remember he fainted on the pitch or something. He passed out when he was playing for Leeds. He was playing for Leeds, and yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but something happened to him a couple of years ago, and I'm not sure what's gone on with him since then. Surely Divine McCanday Clark would at least give us some energy, if nothing else. Jim's loving it tonight. Thanks for tuning in, Jim. Although you're very negative, but he's Nuno out, and we're losing on Wednesday. But I probably do agree with him. Out on penalties. My Burnley prediction, I'm going to go 2-0 Burnley. I think.
Wow.
I think this will. I don't think Nuno will be manager for United game. I feel like after Burnley will be it. Hope I'm wrong. I think we need to start. I'm arguing with myself. In one hand, I'm saying we need to start Harry Kane, and on the other hand, I'm like we need to drop Harry Kane. I don't know what the right answer is, but I feel like we need to go for the attacking three with a bit of pace to get through Burnley, and with Kane on the bench. Ollie's gone 1-0 Spurs. Brian Hill to score. A bit more positivity now. Chris is going 3-1 win. Jim says he's been supporting Spurs too long. I think we've all been supporting Spurs too long. Let's talk about United then. Are you a bit more confident then with the Man United game on Sunday, or you just feel like it's going to be a right circus at the weekend?
I think that game's probably got 0-0 written all over it. I'll be honest with you. Neither team looked like scoring. Neither team was an absolute slump. It's just. I mean, both the teams have got question marks over their managers. I think we might have the slight upper hand though, because I mean their defence, United looks really shaken. At least our defence looks a bit more sturdy with Romero, with Dyer. And obviously, if Royale and Reguilon have a good game as well, we'll have a solid back four. But their defence lately has just looked really poor. You think they spent big money on their defence recently? Obviously, they spent big money on Rafa Varane. Who else they signed? I mean, Maguire is like £75 million when they signed him a few years back. Wan-Bissaka joined for big money as well. I think the defence is. It just hasn't looked right at United. They've got Lindelof as well, who's a bit poor. Eric Bailey as well. Probably, yeah.
So, Gary, I think, so Gary might cut out any second there. But yeah, United at the weekend. But the problem we've got, if we go 1-0 down, it's game over. Don't you think? I think that's it.
I said that about Newcastle when they scored early doors. I went, "Oh, here we go. It's just going to be one of them games." But we actually looked stronger when we conceded, and it was the same for Villa. We they equalised, but 3 minutes later we was back in front. So, but then again, yesterday against West Ham, we just looked like we didn't want to score, even when we conceded 1-0.
What else we got here? Confident. We are Spurs fans. What's that? Roy's dreading the United game. Can see them swarming it all over us. That'll be Nuno's last game. So I say Burnley's his last game. Roy says.
I think if we lost to Burnley and lost to United, I reckon he'd still be in charge for the Everton game. I reckon if we lost the 3 matches, I think if we lost the 3 matches to Burnley in the Cup, United on Saturday, and then Everton the week after, I think we've got Europa League match before that as well. But if we lost all their matches, he'd be sacked during the international break.
So I know Jim's definitely Nuno out. Chris and Roy, what are your opinions? Are you Nuno out? Let us know in the comments. And if you've got any reasons why you're Nuno out or Nuno in, let us know. For me, I think we said this after the Palace game or the Chelsea game. I said let's give them 10 games, 10 league games, and see where we are. Position-wise in the table, I think we're 6th. So position-wise, it's not too bad. But
it's not terrible. But look, I keep saying, it's still fairly tight. I mean, look, the top 3, I think it's going to be Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool at the minute. They're like winning 5-0 and 6. I mean, Chelsea winning 7-0 against Norwich. Liverpool beating Man United 5-0. Man City have won 5-0 a couple of times already this season. I think that would define the top 3. I think there's no catching City, Chelsea, and Liverpool at the moment the way they're playing. I do think top 4 is definitely up for grabs, but I mean there are teams who are turning their form around now. I mean even Arsenal are turning their form around. West Ham, who else is up there? I mean Brighton I think could fade. I think the other team who could be a threat would be Leicester, and then once they're into gear, Newcastle.
Not this season. I don't think this season though. I can't see it this season.
Maybe not, but I think it depends who they get in January. I think if they have a mini rebuild in January, I reckon they'll just get rid of a load of players, bring a load of them in, and I think they'll be on a rampage in January. I think they will. They won't sign top players as per se. They won't sign players like Haaland, Mbappe, Benzema, or whoever. They won't sign them type of players, but they will sign some quality players. I think they could even sign that Aouar, the Lyon midfielder there.
See that, yeah.
I could see Adama Traore going there as well. I could see Zaha going there.
I thought Martial was the obvious one.
Martial could go there as well, I think.
Let's see what else we got. It's such a strange season. 1 minute we play well, and then it's so poor. Do you feel like Levy? Of course, the fans don't put up with it. Do you feel like Levy would put up with that, like 3 wins and 2 losses, and a couple wins. Would you feel like he'll put up with that, or do you
The
think
way Levy is at the minute, I think he would be. Yeah, I think as long as we're hovering around the top 10, I think Levy's pretty happy. I'll be honest with you. I think since the new stadium's opened up, he's treating it more as a marketplace. He's treating it like for the boxing, for the NFL, for the events and all that. I think he's more interested in that. Obviously, like with us fans as well, turning up every week, 60,000 of us buying food, drink, and all that. So. But yeah, I think as long as money's rolling in and we're around 10th, I think he's happy. But I think he needs to show a bit more ambition as a chairman. All the other chairmen seem to do it, especially Leicester's chairman. He's got brilliant ambition. I wouldn't mind a chairman like that. He backs the club. The recruitment's spot on as well. They've got such a good recruitment system there, and I think that's what we need to do. I mean, yeah, we've had recruitments in the past, but they have been poor recruiters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not bad on there. I actually was chatting to my dad earlier about the Leicester chairman, and the previous Leicester chairman, of course, died, and then the son's come in, took over, and he's literally followed on from his footsteps, and done wonders. So of course, it's the same family owners, but it's still a different chairman. And they've still.
Yeah. You know what? With Leicester as well, they treat their fans like football fans. They know what they want. They need signings, they need rebuilds and that. And a team like Leicester, they go from strength to strength. You got to think this is a team who was in League One at one point.
Yeah.
And then obviously promotions and that. They was on the verge of getting relegated in the Premier League. Season after that, won the title.
Yeah. I mean, and that's another thing I mentioned earlier. Leicester won the title, and they've rebuilded that squad after winning the title. So the season Leicester won the title, we still had Dele Alli and Ben Davis and all these players, and so many players that are still at the club. Eric Dyer and all that. But Leicester won the league and they've rebuilt. I think it's only Albrighton, Vardy, and Schmeichel. I think the rest of it has been rebuilt. Brought new players in. Of course, Kante Mahrez went on to better clubs, but they've rebuilt and
replaced them. I mean, they replaced and Kante with Ndidi, and even Tielemans as well, and Mahrez obviously been replaced with Albrighton's still there, he's still a good player. Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes come through, and you've got Jose Perez. I mean, not like for like. I don't know who else it was. I can't think of the other right winger is. Mine's gone blank on that one. Chris says he promised us attacking football. I was hopeful. No, I prefer an attacking manager. So he wants more of an attacking manager. So I'll question it for you then. Do you feel like Spurs will finish higher up in the table this season with Ryan Mason in charge or Nuno?
Oh, that's a tough one. See, the thing is, I think with Ryan Mason, I think we said it in a few videos before. He used to go for it. He used to attack, and I think with the squad he's got, I think he's got a better squad. I think when he took over, obviously he had I think he had like players like Bale and Vinicius, but he had Harry Kane scoring the goals. So this is when there's a few question marks over Kane, but I think this squad here that he's got and the way Nuno uses these players, I think Mason could do better using the players. I mean, there's a lot of question marks about who the manager was going to be, but I think if Levy really wanted to go cheap, I don't know why he didn't give it to Mason.
Yeah, like exactly that. If you're gonna give Nuno a 2-year deal, why didn't you give Mason a 2-year deal? And then get the manager you really want when they're available. If it was Poch or Ten Hag or whoever it was, a bit more planning. I just don't understand the Nuno appointment. Roy makes another really good point. They replaced Harry Maguire, Soyuncu, looks solid.
And Fofana.
Fofana is a really good player. And you still got Johnny Evans, still puts in a good shift.
Yeah, good player, really good player.
And they shifted on Drinkwater when he was on top of his game. Danny Drinkwater,
Yeah, but
So,
again, they brought in Tielemans there. They brought in Daniel Amati,
I was going to say James Maddison.
Madison as well.
Oh,
Yeah, good squad, really good squad.
If you're going to compare assets, I definitely reckon Leicester's squad's more valuable now than Spurs. I mean, you got Son and Kane. Apart from that, I mean, what would you have to pay for Harvey Barnes these days?
Yeah, cheap, young English lad as well. Good player, goal scorer. Oh, probably about easy 60, 70 million pounds.
Another one, Ben Chilwell goes to Chelsea.
Yeah, Chilwell, but again, brought in a new left. I can't remember their new left now.
Bertrand on the free.
Bertrand, yeah, got him, but they got a young one as well, young lads. Thomas.
They got Thomas. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even notice these big differences. They're just such a well-run club. And they just keep ticking over, but they stay up there. And they won the FA Cup, won the Community Shield.
Yeah.
And they're winning trophies.
Yeah.
Susie says, "What do we do with Dele, guys? He has so much skill, but seems to be a has-been. It's so painful." Gary, I'll let you start, mate.
Move Dele on. I think we've seen enough of Dele now. I think he's just more interested in his Instagram videos, in his car, listening to music, bopping his head. I think he wants to be a hip hop star by the looks of things. Mm-hmm. But as a footballer, I don't know. He looks like he's fallen out of love with football. Probably got the attitude of, I'm a footballer. I've made it now. But I don't know. It's a strange one with Dele. He just looks like he's his head's not in it anymore. So I would move him on.
But when you
not overs now. I mean, we've said recently he's too static, too slow. He's just not. I put a post the other day about Dele. I posted a picture of when Dele actually scored against Leicester. It was his first goal.
No, I was there.
He was a 19-year-old, came from Milton Keynes. He was superb, and we didn't realise he was going to go from strength to strength in that short time. He was 19, then 20, 21, 22. He was brilliant. He was fantastic. I remember he scored against Man United, and even Martin Tyler said his last day as a teenager.
Yeah.
And I mean, by then he'd already scored he was already in double digits with goals.
It's such a shame with Dele. Like, you look at all these, the YouTube videos, the TikToks of Dele Alli, and you think, what a player! Like, scored against Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal. Scored some big games. Scored the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Scored against Real Madrid at Wembley in the Champions League. Scored some, massive goals for us. And then it's bizarre. It's really sad to see what's happened, but he's definitely finished at Spurs. Would you try to get him out on loan, or would you try and sell him in January?
No, you'd sell him. You'd have to sell him. I think a loan's no good, because if he goes on loan and he does well at a new club, and then he comes back, I mean, it's going to be the same as Jesse Lingard. He's got shipped out of Man United to West Ham on loan, done well there. He's gone back to Man United. He's scored a couple of goals, but he just hasn't had the same form as West Ham.
Susie makes a good point. She says, can see another David Bentley, sadly. I would not surprise me with Dele Alli, retiring at 29, 30, retiring at a young age, because he has made them comments about his body can't do what it used to do. And some things just are very bizarre. I mean, we've seen how much he's been working out in the summer. He puts all
he looks absolutely ripped. And I think to myself, put your body to good use then, put your strength to good use, but he's really not. Yeah,
it's bizarre. It's I don't know, it's like he might be better off playing basketball or something. He just football don't seem to be the sport for him no more. It's unexplainable, really. Regarding Mason or Nuno, Chris says that's hard. Mason was in the position that if he wins, great. If not, it's understood as he's not an experienced manager.
Yeah.
I honestly believe we have the squad we need, a manager that can motivate, get the best out of him. But look what Moyes is doing. Exactly that. I feel like we've got a good squad. I really do feel like we've got a good squad. We got the right back we needed in Emerson, much better than Doherty and Aurier. We got the centre back we dreamed of in Romero, and we got Skip, who can help provide support with Højbjerg. It's just that number 10, we're lacking creativity up front, and we need another backup striker. and then see where we go from there. I think with the Ryan Mason, where people won't be on board, is if he does bring Harry Winks back into the side. Of course, he played Harry Winks in the cup final over Tungi and Dembele, and that caused a lot of controversy among fans. And he started Gareth Bale on the bench that day in the cup final. So there was some questionable decisions from Mason, but for me as a fan, I need to see passion on the pitch and passion on the touchline. I mean, it's funny to say it, but remember Tim Sherwood when he threw his gilet on the ground, he's passionate. And when we capitulated away at Chelsea, and he come out and said the players need to wake up. I just see no personality from Nuno. Everything just seems he just talks for the sake of it.
Yeah,
it feels like he doesn't want to be there already.
Yeah, I mean, his comments bewildered me a bit yesterday when they said we was the better sides. I don't think we were, Nuno. I really don't think we were the better side. All right, there were spells we were the side, but not for the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up with the final question from Susie. Susie says, guys, great chat show. Well done. So Man United at home, do you see this game as potentially the last of both managers? We've mentioned Nuno. You don't think Nuno will be off if he loses, but Ollie, do you think Ollie could be off?
Well, there has been talks in the past few hours or so that Man United are considering Ollie's future now. But yeah, look, Man United, you don't lose 5-0 like that to a rival team like Liverpool. Even Fergie. I mean, when Fergie was there, I don't think he ever lost 5-0. Can't remember off the top of my head. I think he did lose 4-1 to Liverpool at one point, or might have got confused with that. But yeah, it's a shame really, because everyone, all the United fans on Twitter were saying that, when was it when they won the treble? 97 was it?
99.
99, sorry. And he was a legend, and they said it's just hard because he's a club legend and he's sort of ruined his legacy by taking charge of a manager as a manager, and now he's got to face the sack, and it's like the fans want him gone because he's no good as a manager. But you can't look at him and say he was a bad manager. You need to look at him like he's a legend, because he was absolutely loved up at United. But to answer the question, it could probably be the last game, but I think it depends. I think whoever wins that one. But personally, I could see it both being a 0-0 draw. If it was a 0-0 draw, I could probably see Nuno staying and Ollie leaving if that was the case. So I think Ollie has to win. I think he has to win to keep that job. But if he doesn't win, I think he could be gone.
I think the board and probably even the fans will take a draw. As a Spurs fan, I'll be happy with a draw.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's how bad it's got for us. Chris says, don't think either will go. Susie says, thanks for taking my questions. Let's keep the faith. Come on, you Spurs. We want to be in a dressing room if Fergie lost 5-0 to Liverpool. I mean, with Ollie, we did beat him 6-1 last season.
Yeah. So
it's not necessarily a fluke, the Liverpool game. It just feels like something's gone horribly wrong. My final point of the night will be when we lost 5-0 home to Liverpool, AVB was in charge and he was sacked the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like Tottenham need a thumping for Nuno to get sacked. But the fact is,
I would say so.
In fact, Romero's quite a good defender, so
it's keeping the scores down. Yeah, I think it's keeping it to 1-0s and all that. But I would say, I think, like I said, if Nuno's got 2 chances to keep his job against Man United, and that's obviously to win and draw. But Ollie, I feel like, has to win. And if he loses or draws, then he could be gone, because I think neither result would be good. I think it just depends how they play. And again, I think it's the same with us. But I don't think Nuno would leave. I think he would be given up until about January. See, when Ramos was in charge, he was sacked after 8 matches. As when he was in charge of Tottenham. But that was obviously after the new season. It was about 8 matches. He was sacked, and we didn't win. We had what was it, 2 points from 8 matches.
Remember.
And sacked after then. So, but Nuno, currently at the minute, as it stands, will be in charge for 10 matches. But I think probably not Man United. I think if we lost to United and then lost to Everton afterwards, then he'll probably be gone.
Is Everton away?
I think so, yeah. Everton is away. But they've been a funny old side as well. I mean, losing 5-2 to Watford there.
Bizarre, isn't it? Bizarre.
And losing.
So Susie says, and Glenn too, Chris. I mean, yeah, really good points. I mean, we could all say we're attached to our managers, they're nice guys and stuff, but and it's how United are with Solskjaer. But you look at Chelsea, they sacked Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
Tuchel comes in, wins them the Champions League. I don't think Chelsea fans are crying over Lampard being sacked now when you've got the Champions League in your cabinet, so
no. Yes, it's true. Yes, thing about having
off, but they're probably these players are managers. They're probably nice people, but we're watching football to see Tottenham Hotspur win trophies, and it's not happening, unfortunately.
I don't know what the perfect manager would be. I mean, do we need a what's the name? Do you need like an absolute bastard of a manager like what Fergie was, or because I thought that's what Jose Mourinho was. I thought he was a bit of a bastard, but by the looks of it was just his ego got in the way. I mean, Jurgen Klopp to me looks like an absolute bastard of a manager. He absolutely does his nut. He goes crazy at his players, and all his players look like they respect him. They respond to him, and I feel like that's the type of manager we need. But at the same time, he respects them and speaks highly of them.
He's got the right balance, Klopp, between being nasty, like you don't want to let him down, and and he's intelligent enough to get his message across.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Mourinho's too one way. I don't know what Nuno is. Well, it looks like Susie was late to the stream this evening. Just remind Susie of your prediction for. Oh, I've accidentally deleted the comment. Oh no, I haven't. There we go. Remind Susie of your prediction for Burnley on Wednesday.
I said we're going to win on penalties.
So brace yourself, Susie. It's going to be a long night Wednesday. We're going to win 15-14 on penalties.
Oh, could you imagine? Blimey. But look, our penalty takers are quite good, to be fair. I mean, the last one against Wolves, there were good penalties. Players like Gill stepping up, done well. Reguilon taking good penalty. Kane takes good penalty. And then if you got Son, he takes good penalty. Even Dele Alli takes good penalty. We talk about Dele, but even he can take.
I can't have another Dele penalty. I can't do it. Can't do it to me. But yeah,
takers are pretty decent, so that's why I think we could win on penalties.
Well, Gary's going winning on penalties. I'm going 2-0 Burnley. I just feel it's going to go horribly wrong. I don't know why.
What's the predictions for Man United?
Well, Chris has gone 3-1 for the Burnley game. I love that. United 2-1 United.
I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I'll take that right now.
Take that right. A bad result, and but that could cost Ollie his job.
Yeah, well, no,
it won't cost Nuno.
I mean, I think for United, I reckon they're at least, asking a few people, a few whispers. Would Conte be interested? Would Zidane be interested? But Tottenham, I don't feel like Tottenham are at that stage yet where they're gonna even look to start the managerial search again. But we will see. But hopefully next week we will be talking about getting through in the cup to the last 8. I think there's some big teams left in the cup still. So, but there's no point thinking about that just yet. Marky's just come in. Pens and wins, guys. So Susie thinks we'll win on penalties as well, but lose 2-0 to United. Marky says 2-0 to United and Spurs have 0 creativity. Chris says United game 2-2. But that is going to do it for tonight's show, guys. Thanks everyone that tuned in. We had a lot of comments today. I've got a bit of a sore throat for now. So
good views as well. Plenty of people viewing in.
But yeah, really appreciate everyone tuning in tonight.
Give us a follow on Instagram. Adam wants us to promote his TikTok. There's a few social media pages if you guys want to follow as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think people have TikTok yet. What's your Instagram?
I've changed it now. It's called Tottenham Mail.
So if you want to follow Gary on Instagram, it is Tottenham Mail. at Tottenham Mail to find Gary on Instagram, where he posts the latest Spurs news every single day, loads of posts every day, and really good stuff. But hopefully next week we will be talking about getting through in the cup, hopefully, and hopefully have a shot against Man United. A few attempts in the second half would be lovely. But thanks, Gary, for tuning in again, as well as all the,
no worries. Thanks a lot, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, catch you next week.
See you later, mate. Bye bye.